What is going on, guys? We are back for another episode of LDP's podcast. Today I'm here with...
the one and only Aaron Grant.
Beautiful.
Let's get it rolling.
Is this rolling?
Yeah, we are.
All right, sweet. I just want to tell you, like, my name's not even Aaron Grant. That's the funny thing.
Shit. That's just your stage name?
So my name is Aaron. But when I started, I wanted to play hockey. That was my passion. But I wanted to keep hockey and business separate because I didn't want like a scout to search up my name and then they see all my business articles and they're like, oh, well, this kid doesn't even care about hockey. So I actually just was like, oh, okay, let me just change my last name. So I changed my last name, and now that's kind of just become my brand. And like everyone just calls me Aaron Grant, you know.
That's insane. Were you nice with it with hockey?
I was actually pretty good. So I played junior hockey for a little bit. And then I had to make the tough decision of just like quitting, you know, like I had to, you know, if I wanted to make money, I wasn't going to be able to travel and like, you know, go on these long road trips and, you know, play hockey and make money. It just wouldn't work. Cause like, if you know hockey, you have to like buses, planes, like everything. And it's just like, I don't even know how I pulled it off from like 12 to like 17, 18.
Nah, bro. An athlete's lifestyle is brutal. I remember even there, you quit a little bit younger, but I played baseball up until I was literally this year, 17, going to Florida, Virginia, bro. And like, not that it's a nightmare because you enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
But there comes a point where it's just like, okay, there's a level of monotony and just repetition and doing this every single day, training for this every single day. What if you get stuck in the minors? You're making less than minimum wage.
It's just like that's how you have to think because like right, your life is already so time consuming with business, right? Your social life's already fucked. Like you have I had no social life from like 12 to like 16 to 17. I'd say like 12 to 16. Like no one knew me. I didn't hang out with anyone. Like no, it was just strictly because my business and hockey. Like business, first off, I would lock myself in my room, not because I wanted to, probably because I was a loser. I didn't really have any friends. No one really liked me. And then hockey too, because every like Halloween, Christmas, I was away. So I just spent no time with anyone. And then I kind of realized like there was no way I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I don't even know how athletes do that because, you know, there's athletes with businesses.
100%.
Like pro athletes. Imagine what their day is like. Yeah. They're probably super stressed all the time. And I told myself like, you know, I'm not trying to come off as like, oh, I was going to go pro, which, you know, I probably wasn't. I was probably just going to play like D3, D2, and then like, you know, maybe end up in like some minor league, but
it's still a lot.
Yeah, you know,
still a lot.
It's way too much to do. You know, I can't really juggle like that. You know, I have to keep my mind focused on one thing, and that's like how I am. Is like focus on one thing at a time. And a lot of people come to me and they're like, "Yo, Aaron, I want to do this, that, this," and like they list like a whole thing, and I'm like, "Well, first, did you start off with number? What's like, oh, you know, I want to try all at once." I'm like, no, you have to focus on one thing at a time. Yeah, and that's why. Like the second I graduated high school, it's actually kind of ridiculous how my income literally went from this to this because I had so much more time on my hands and just I could focus on one thing. I didn't have to focus on school, hockey, you know, other important things. And then I moved out and I saw the same jump. Like I went from, I graduated and then I moved out. The second I moved out, like last week we did like, I think it was like, I made like 50 grand last week. From just like all my income streams, you know, insane. And I would have never made that, you know, in school or anything. So
insane.
You have no college degree?
No college degree. I'm not going to go to college. I'm not planning on it. I'm going to leave the door open, you know, probably, you know, when I'm older, I'll probably just go to college just for my kids to like set an example. Yeah. Because I want my kids to think that they have to go to college. You know why? Because like my parents push me like, you want to go to college, you need to go to college, you need to go to college. And I actually use that as a tool to like, okay, I want to start a business because I want to prove to my parents I don't want to go to college. Right. You know, because if my parents told me, oh, Aaron, you know, you don't need to go to college, I would have just sat on my ass. I wouldn't have been pressured to do anything, you know, because I really seriously had to talk to my dad, like I'd say like 7 months ago, he's like, okay, well, you know, you're making a lot of money. You bought your first M4. Like he knew that was a big accomplishment for me. And he's like, do you really want to go to college? I'm like, no, you know, I don't want to, I want to spend this next year. I want to live my life and, you know, I want to do all of that. And he was like, you know, I could show him proof that like I can live on my own. Like I'm paying $5,000 a month for this place plus another $1,800 a month in parking, and I'm going to pay another $1,800 a month in parking. Like I can live on my own, you know, and I proved that to him. But a lot of kids are like, they want to do that, but they have nothing to show for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they want to tell their parents, I don't want to go to college. And then and then they have no game plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, well, no shit, your mom and dad want you to go to college, because what are you going to do if you don't go to college? They're most likely going to party, and they think that they can live with their parents on their own forever. And this is why on social media, I actually got a lot of hate for it, because I told people, like, move out of your parents' house. Move out of your parents' house. And a lot of people were like, oh, what's the problem with being comfortable? That's the problem with being comfortable. You get comfortable, and then you want to live your life, like, the whole way, just comfortable. You want to live in your parents, not pay rent, not pay for food, not pay for this. Like, honestly, I could have got away with just living at my parents' house for the next 6-7 months, a year. I know people who are super successful who still live in their parents' house, and I could have got away with it too, but I wanted to make myself uncomfortable. I wanted to kind of just like push myself, you know, because now I have over with car payments, I have over like $12,000 a month, no matter what, no matter if I go to dinner or I don't go to dinner, of payments I have to make every single month. So if I'm not making $12,000 a month, my car's gone, my apartment's gone, everything's gone.
Right.
And some people would look at that as like a bad thing, but I don't, because it pushes me. You know what I'm saying? Right. Would you agree?
100%. Bro, credit-wise, how did you do all this? You just turned 18?
Yeah, I just turned 18.
How, like, credit-wise, did you just... Like, how did that happen?
What, for like, are you talking like physical credit? Like
just purchasing all this stuff.
Oh, all of it. I mean, connections. Like, people would be surprised how far connections can get you. So with my first car, what I actually did was to convince, my dad wouldn't let me buy the car.
What was your first car?
2019 BMW M4. So that was my first car, and it took me 3 months to convince my dad to get it. Because first off, he didn't want me to kill myself, because, you know, fast car, and he didn't think I could afford it. I mean, he knew my bank. So what I had to do actually was, the only way to convince him was I had to swap. I leased the car. I gave him the full, so it was like 14 months. I gave him the full $30,000, and then what I did at the end of the lease is I bought the entire car out. Wow. So that was the only way I convinced him, because it was like, I think it was like $1,200 a month. And I sent them, it was like 26,000, something like that. I don't really know the math to be specific. Sent them that because I was like, okay, well, Dad, now I can't miss a payment. You have all the money, you know? And then I realized I wasn't actually going to buy the car, but then I realized with the car market, if I just buy the car, I could make like $5,000 off it. So that's what I recently did. I bought it out, and then I'm reselling it, and I'm going to make like $5,000. And then with this new car, I'm doing the same exact thing. So I already completely purchased out the car, because I could honestly flip that car right now and make $10,000 with it.
Nice.
So that's what I did with the whole car. And credit wise, like, I don't really rely on credit cards or anything. Like, I mean, the way I get everything is proof of income, you know, to get places and everything. Like, a lot of you'd be surprised, like, credit I think is kind of going out. And like, you can show proof of income, you know, like you can go to an apartment and be like, hey, you know, I make $50,000 a month, you know, here's proof. You know, some places are more strict.
Right.
And you could do that. And then there's other ways, you know, for example, you know, if you have a friend who has a place and they're not living there for 12 months, hey dude, I'll pay your rent, and you know, you can live there. So that's really how I did it. Nothing really credit wise, you know.
So you made and are currently making very solid amount of money off drop shipping, correct?
Drop shipping, yeah. Drop shipping and e-commerce. And then I have a few other things on the side here and there. But e-commerce has always been my main thing. You know, sometimes I had a few months where it was like, you know, can I really rely on this? And, you know, there was a phase where Facebook ads was really fucking tough to run. And I was really struggling to make money because I had to deal with so many bans, you know, so many advertiser accounts being just like completely disabled.
Dude, we were actually listening to a podcast on the way here, and we were just like doing some basic research on Facebook ads. And they were saying like one thing that you have to deal with so much unnecessary bans, like out of nowhere for no reason.
Yeah. And it's just so rough, you know, because you have to deal with that. Because I mean, some of my experiences is like you would get to a point where like your store's about to go up and you're scaling, and then just like that, poof, like everything is just cut. And the thing is, people will be like, oh well, can't you just restart them? No, once your shit's like cut, you have to re-optimize everything, and you pretty much start from scratch, and it's really messed up. So and there was a point where I really just could not make any money with dropshipping, because all my IP addresses were banned. My parents' names were banned. All of it. You know, at a point, I just got like a ton of virtual offices, so I could use like different IPs to run Facebook ads. And at a point, I just gave up. And there was a solid time where I didn't have a lot of income coming in. I relied like mostly on like influencer marketing here and there. I had a few Instagram accounts. That actually probably like that's where I made a lot of money too, where I had these Instagram accounts with a lot of followers. And I was actually talking, like we were talking before, like how you guys can turn your following into money. What I would do was I would sell these shirts, hoodies, and like merch. And you would be surprised like how much money I was bringing in from these shirts, hoodies. Like I was bringing in like $50,000 in revenue, obviously like 15-20% profit with print on demand. But that's what I ran for about 1 to 2 years when Facebook ads was really struggling, because I could just rely on myself. You know, my Instagram account would never be disabled. They would never stop me from posting. And that's what I did for a while. And then TikTok, you know, TikTok ads is a huge thing now with drop shipping. And, you know, we recently, a partner of mine and I, we were able to actually scale a store from, you know, zero to like $100,000 in 7 days. He was actually able to do that. And I talked to you guys about that before, but that was all strictly TikTok ads. And there's what I like about TikTok, it's literally just Facebook before it became saturated.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So it's a great platform to advertise on. A lot of people come to me like, hey Aaron, how do you get sales? Strictly TikTok. And then another good thing is TikTok organic. You know, I'll spill some game, like if you guys want to go like and really push TikTok organic and spend zero money on ads, here's what you do. So some accounts, if you don't know, when you create them, they're immediately shadow banned. You don't know it, but you'll post.
That's crazy.
And they'll be immediately shadow banned and you have no idea. So my first ever video on TikTok got 3 million views. First ever video. That's the reaction every first account should get. So what I did with my personal brand is I started 7 accounts. I posted the same content on all 7 accounts. 1 account hit. I deleted the other 6 accounts, ran with that 1 account. That 1 account's now the account with like 600,000 followers, verified, 9 million likes. You can do the same with brands and everything, you know? So what you can do is create like 3 accounts, create 3 different creatives, right? If you create 3 different creatives and they're high quality, copy something that already works. So for example, if you have a competition who is doing the same as you and his video went viral, you should get the same effect. If you don't get the same effect, then your account's shadow banned. There's something wrong with your account. So that's what you do. You just keep creating TikTok accounts until one video goes viral. Because people don't realize the second one video doesn't go viral, that will just keep happening.
And it won't stop.
And it won't stop, you know, like you know, if you do something that messes up the TikTok algorithm or something, that'll kind of just mess up the account, or it's just strictly luck. You know, like I said, like from my experience, again, with my personal brand, I told you 7 different accounts, 1 account, all the same content when it just finally hit.
Wow.
Yeah. You know?
That's insane.
And the name of the game with TikTok is copying. It's copying. Copy what works.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, there's trends that come out and they just become big like that, but I'm sorry, the chance of you being that guy, being the Charlie D'Amelio, you know, is 1 in a million. Yeah. And if you really want your chances of success to go higher, just copy what works. You know, if there's a trend out, don't try to start the new trend. Just use that trend. That's what TikTok wants, you know? Yes. That's why they push things like this, you know? Right. And that's kind of the tip I would give to you too, is like podcast wise, you know, if you see a podcast like Impulsive that's doing really well, there's nothing bad about mimicking them or, you know, trying to build something better than them, because they're already successful. They've already paved the way. You know, you're not going to start some like revolutionary space podcast where we're like in space doing a podcast, right? It's like you gotta kind of take their path and then you bridge off. You know what I mean? You start.
Funny. Now that you bring it up, Impulsive, dude, I literally just ripped off their thumbnails. If you look at our most recent thumbnail, I just literally took what they did and just threw it on our thing.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I tell this to a lot of people who come to me and they're like, hey, Aaron, I want to grow a following on TikTok. And I'm like, the name of the game is copying. You know, as you see a lot of these entrepreneurs and everyone are trying to steal not only my content, but a lot of other people's content because it works. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. If it works, I think the only way you can make it, you know, I think the only way it's allowed, I think, is if you take that content and change it a bit. make it about your life, about your story, about something about you. Don't just like word for word copy. That's what I'm not trying to say. If you word for word copy, you're probably not going to get anywhere. You'll get somewhere, you'll get views, but then eventually people are just going to be like, copying. And I tried this. I've tried a ton of different strategies. Like, a lot of people are always like, oh, bro's trying to be like Andrew Tate, like this and that. But the guy's talked about everything,
Exactly. 100%.
You can't say anything without being called Andrew Tate nowadays, because the guy took over the platform.
Top G.
It is a fact though. Like, I literally have old clips that I have released are still getting some comments, and they're like, "Oh, bro, trying to be Tate." I'm like, dude, this video was out before I even knew who he was.
Exactly.
I didn't know who Andrew Tate was.
Yeah, and I mean, should we Andrew Tate, dude, he took over TikTok, and it's kind of funny how everyone's just super oblivious to what he did. Like, all these 12 and 13-year-old kids have no idea what he just did to them. First off, it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
It's you sign up for his course, and the way you make money in his course is you sell his course.
Course.
And that's why you see so many of these accounts, and no one has any idea, back in the, before Andrew Tate, if you said anything about a course, you would be immediately canceled.
Right.
Immediately canceled, right off the bat, sliced, done. All of a sudden, Tate comes in with a Bugatti, and all of a sudden he can sell a course.
It's, what it is? It's like, correct me if I'm wrong, I really think that it's just his willingness to be completely different. Like, how there's trend stars, like you were saying with Charlie. Like, no one had the balls to say what he's saying. Like, he is uncancelable because no one that follows his content is someone that's willing to say, like, you're getting canceled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why it works for him. But your average person, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I try to say some, there's some content on my page where it's out of pocket, it's something I would never say on a daily basis to my friend or my girlfriend or a buddy of mine. I would never say that. But on TikTok, you have to be a little outgoing if you want to get views. That's how the world works. Andrew Tate's not Andrew Tate if he's not flexing his $5 million Bugatti and telling you that your mother's a whore.
Exactly.
He's not getting where he's at there.
100%.
So
some of the stuff he says is crazy. What I do look up to him is, and the fact that he has a strong relationship with his brother. I feel like I'm the same way.
Yeah.
He took his brother up to the top with him. Tristan.
Yeah, dude, that's super good, bro.
Yeah.
Having a strong relationship. I have a brother, but he's he's a half brother. He was born in Russia. So it's we have a close relationship, but it's not like that. But having a good relationship with your brother is super important, especially if you're closer in age.
Yeah, or even friends. Just that's brotherhood in general.
It's super important to have someone. That's kind of why I really wanted, that I brought on my buddy Matt, is because I wanted someone close to me who had the same interests, who had the same, passion and mindset, want to make money, want to be successful, want to do all that. So, a lot of people have that mindset, but he really had that mindset and he really wanted, and that's why I brought him on. I was like, I want someone around me that I could surround myself with, kind of be that brother. Yeah. Help me with my daily tasks, give me life advice. The same with Ethan, the reason I moved in here was because he gives me good advice on a daily basis. I mean, you see the guy, he's got 15 fucking
the garage are 15
cars.
Notes.
There's over $1 million worth of cars in there. That McLaren 720S is worth $500,000. So it's surrounding yourself with people like that is super important, and that's why I do it. And that's what I think why he's super successful, because both of them have a similar mindset. They want to see each other win. They push each other, and that's kind of what touching back on how I said, move out. Push yourself. Where were we at? We were talking about
something about 100K. I forget that.
Oh, no, we were talking about how people who make $15 an hour, if they saved up for 3 weeks, they should have $1,000 to their name. But I know a lot of kids home that have $0 because every week they spend it on weed, alcohol,
Yeah.
and all of these things, and they don't save their money. You know, I have people who are just like super addicted to just like drinking and smoking and doing all these things. You know, I mean, I understand why kids want to do that, but bro, for your financial gain, like you don't want to be spending your money on that if you can't afford it. You know what I mean?
Talk to me a little bit about like growing out of people that you may have started around in the beginning, and you know, learning a little bit more about their character, maturing.
I mean, dude, I learned quick. My first ever like quote unquote business partner took advantage of me for like I think it was like $12,000. What happened was we partnered on a store, because obviously being under 18, you need someone else's info. So I would usually use my parents, but he was like, you know, let's start a store together. I'll use my info. He's over 18. So it made sense. You know, we split the profits. Right. Makes sense. So we started this store. Honestly, I don't even remember what we were selling. It was more of a higher ticket item. I'm trying to remember here. But right, we were selling it, and you know, it went well. We made like, I think it was like $20,000 in revenue. And, you know, about 50% of that was profit because we were running influencer marketing, and we were using our own pages. So we were using theme pages to promote. And he wanted his payout cash. And the thing was, the payouts went to my bank. So what he did is he flew from Canada to come get his payout. He took the money, the cash, right? He took it out of the account, and then he didn't fulfill the orders. So I got all the chargebacks to my bank account. So wow. I was like 12 I was like 12 or 13 with like negative $13,000 in my account.
Why do you put your bank account on it though? Why do you link it to your thing?
Because the chargebacks came to my account, and he took cash.
And you probably didn't know better at the time.
I didn't know. I had no idea. You know, I thought he fulfilled the orders. He marked the orders as fulfilled. He didn't actually fulfill them though.
That reminds me of somebody that
crap.
I know pretty well.
Yeah. That was
crazy.
We literally went through a similar thing. Thank God we got out when we did. Thank God we got out when we did. But that's insane.
Yeah.
Bro, honestly, like I made a vow. I used to, when I was like 14, I feel like I figured like certain things out like quicker than others. Like I started vaping when I was 14. Like it's very young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I was coming from a smaller middle school to an out of town high school, and I really didn't know anyone. I was trying to like fit in with the crowd, like most kids, 14-year-olds would, hanging out with kids that really had no goals, you know, go out, party, drink. And I kind of just fell into that group. And then one day I kind of had like
eye-opening, like
I really had like, there was just one morning where I woke up and I was like, okay, something is wrong. I'm like something is wrong with the direction of my life. Like I know for a fact these are not my long-term friends. This is not how life is going to be for me. This is how it goes going forward. And that was like 14 to the end of me being 15, about to turn 16, toxic friends around me, toxic relationship, whole bunch of garbage. I literally made a vow one day. I'm like, I'm getting rid of everything. I'm like, everything is done. I'm like, I'm not vaping ever again. I will not take a sip of a drink ever again. I'm not doing anything anymore. And since then, it's been over a year and a half. I don't vape. I don't drink. I don't smoke a single thing. Like literally, it was weird. It just happened one day.
That's crazy.
I work out every single day. Like, bro, I just changed my way. I was working a little bit, saved money, so now I could pursue my business endeavors like full time, and I'm just so much happier. Like to become like, I'm not even in the position to where right now I want to be where I want to be financially, physically. Like, just I don't have the whole package yet that I want, but bro, I feel so much closer. You know what I mean? Just getting rid of those toxic things. But
that's crazy. I didn't know people like have those. Like honestly, life kind of chose that for me, but I didn't really know people have those like. Wake up,
dude.
It's kind of like when it's like 4 a.m. and you're like, let me go get some push-ups, you know. But it's actually crazy that some people actually have those life moments. Because for me, it wasn't really like I decided. You know, I was 12-year-old kid, super crooked teeth. I had braces, you know, wasn't really socially into it, you know, didn't have too many friends. So that decision was kind of made for me not to vape and not to smoke. And I'm so glad I was a loser, because I would 100% be addicted to vaping right now. Yep. I'd 100% be an alcoholic. I would 100% be like around those kids, and I wouldn't be where I'm at. But thank God I was a loser, because I just wasn't surrounded with those popular kids who did those things. And you know, later in my high school, you know, when, you know, I started getting money and, you know, kind of making myself socially into, the school, whatever scene. Yeah, then I started hanging out with those kids, but, it was the end of high school, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I want to have that high school experience a little bit. But life kind of made that choice for me not to do that stuff because I wasn't around those people.
No, it's insane though. I feel like it made like me and Dad like such good judges of character, because there was a time, and it brought us like super close as brothers, because there was a time where I wouldn't hang out with Dario because he was always like he was dead against all that stuff.
I didn't smoke, none of that.
I didn't want him knowing like the kid's never taken a hit of a vape, never, and like he was just dead against all that stuff. I was more trying to fit in the crowd, more young and mature.
Yeah.
We have a 1.5 year age gap difference. I was just more like just looking to fit in because I was so popular at the school I was at beforehand. Looking back, I didn't realize that's how my mind was thinking and perceiving the situation at the time.
Yeah.
But dude, I had so much anxiety, so much depression, and like looking back, I'm like that was my outlet, like just trying to fit in. So I was having friggin' panic attacks every day. Like it was just a shit phase in my life. Outgrew it. Once I got rid of like the toxic girlfriend, the toxic habits and everything, like things start feeling better,
Yeah, dude. And surrounding, just like the people you surround yourself with are super important. It shapes your life, bro. I mean, I made I'm gonna keep going back to videos that like get hate, because what I do is I take a lot of ideas and I take them over the top, So there's this video, I was like, if you want to own a Lamborghini, surround yourself with people who own Lamborghinis. Surround yourself with people and not every successful person has a Lamborghini, but that it was the point I was trying to make. And I said that, and people were like, oh, not all successful people have Lamborghinis, but they knew what I meant. I just kind of took it over the top. Right. But like, for example, like I surround myself with people like Ethan, and a lot of other people who have a lot of money, and I have a lot of people with a lot of money in my texts. And it's great because I can always bank on them for advice. I see what they're doing in their life, and I kind of mimic them. Like, again, I'm a person where and Ethan will also say this too, is like the second I see something, I pick it up. Like, for example, I had this super big wallet, right? And this is like just like a minimal thing, but I had a super big wallet. Ethan told me, make a smaller wallet. It looks more professional, more clean. Did that. Ethan has 2 phones, for business and fucking, personal life. That's what I did. I got 2 phones to separate my business and personal life. Like, literally, the second someone tells me that I look up to, I listen to it. I'm an action taker. And that's what people have to be if they want to be successful. They have to be an action taker, People come to me and they're like, yo, how can I get my capital up? Okay. Find items around your house, your old Xbox, old video games, flip them. Sell them on eBay, sell them to friends, sell them to something. They come to me on the same, live video like two weeks later, and they're like, how to get my capital up.
Who is that kid that you're about to fly out? Because I saw that live. I commented, actually. That's how we set this whole thing up. Yeah.
Andrew. So Andrew is a student of mine, and we flew him out to Miami. What was it? Last month, yeah, Memorial Day weekend. We flew 2 other kids out with him, and this kid came to me, had some experience with e-commerce, right, but he really just needed the extra push. He had some signs of success, but really never like the big success where it's like, I can live off this and I can actually do something with this. So it was just kind of like, $1,000 in sales in a week, and with 25% profit, that's $250. That's not going to really do much.
Yeah.
So he came to us, and we literally 3 days of just like nonstop learning, like TV screen. And I would just sit there with my computer with my partners, and we would show them everything from finding the products, how we run the ads, how we set up the store, what is the psychology behind a buyer, all that super important stuff for any e-commerce, business owner. Went all over that. And literally after the trip was gone, I called all of them. I had them all make a video. How was your trip? Give me an honest review. And I posted all of them on my story. His video was super, like, he was into it. Like, he really actually learned something, and he picked up a lot of things, and he was an action taker. A week later, this kid sent me a screenshot. He's like, bro, first 1K day, And then, that store kind of died off, but he didn't give up,
Right.
And he didn't give up. And then, what was it? How long ago was that? I think it was like 3 days ago, whenever that live video that
he had like 6K or something in a day, right?
Yeah. So he had it. So he texted me in the morning. It was like, let me see here. So he texted me in the morning. He goes, So he texted me a screenshot. He goes, it was $1,700 on the day, right? So he texted me that. He says, today already with 35% profit margins. I said, beast, right? I said, I think I will end the day around 4 to 5K. So I sent him an audio message. So I texted him and I said, look, if you hit 5K today, I'll fly you out again. He said, hell yeah, bro, let me know. And then look, literally same text conversation, 5K. He did 5K in the day. He said,
that's pure profit? 5K?
That's not pure profit. That's
okay.
revenue. So I did it, bro. $1,566 in profit.
That's insane.
I literally called him. That was at 8:58. I called him. I'm like, bro, so we're flying you out again. And, that was super crazy. But, dude, the crazier thing was dude, he hit 7K that day.
Insane.
He hit 7K that day. But that's just proof of an action taker. He took what I taught him and he actually put it to work. He didn't give up. He had a store that did $1,000 a day. It died off. He didn't give up. A lot of people would just throw in the towel and be like, oh, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
He was like, this works. It's not the business model. It's me. A lot of people say dropshipping's dead. I'm sorry. It's not dead. It's a business model. It'll never be dead. Kylie Jenner does a form of dropshipping with her, whole beauty brand. She doesn't make the products. She just puts her brand on the product. That's like a form of dropshipping, right? Yeah. So, and then he actually sent me the screenshot for this week. So I texted him. I said, update me, Brody. He said, I'm hitting steady 5K days and I'm trying to launch a bunch of new creatives each day to scale more, right? So that's what you have to do to scale. You have to new creatives, all that. I said, let's see the week so far. So you can see that. Let's see the week so far.
Wow. So what product was he selling?
Can't say. That's
okay.
That's right, because it's current. I wish if this was like a year ago, 2 years ago, I would be able to tell you guys the product.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But obviously a big thing. A lot of people come to me is like, yo, tell me some winning products, right? And a lot of people are going to see this podcast. So if I told you his winning product, I'm sorry, that product's not winning anymore because now everyone on this.
But you don't think out of the 7 billion people on this planet, somebody hasn't figured out about what he's doing right now?
I mean, someone, people know. I mean, they don't know specifically what he's selling, but some other people are probably selling his product. But
and you'll probably watch someone who is who had a winning store on something. They hear the product.
Yeah.
They kind of know what to do with it. Scale it up the same way. Yeah, it's not worth it. Why would you?
And that's the thing is, if the second I tell you the winning product, I'm sorry, that product's not winning anymore.
Yeah.
Because now there's going to be 100 other 200 kids, out of the millions who watch this who are motivated enough to go try that product. They'll all try that product. Boom, the whole product's saturated.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because it's right, people will overlook. So say they saw his product, they would overlook it because they didn't know he was doing 30K a week.
Right.
But if they know he's doing 30K a week, now they're like, oh yeah, I gotta sell this product.
Right.
And that's the whole thing in the name of the game. A lot of people come to me like, tell me a winning product. I'm like, bro, that's not how it works. I'll teach you how to find the winning products. I can't tell you the winning product. You have to figure out how to find it yourself. Or you're just going to be what? You're going to keep coming to people for winning products? I'm sorry. You're catching if someone is willing to tell you a winning product, you are on the end of the stick. Mm-hmm. That's when the product is dying out. They'll tell you.
That makes sense.
No one would say, what product they're selling that makes them 150K in a month. At the peak, why would you do that?
Yeah.
There's more competition for you. So unfortunately, sharing the products is just a big no-no in the space.
That makes sense. So for me, I don't know anything really about drop shipping, e-commerce.
Yeah.
None of that stuff.
So basically, for the people that are going to watch this, we've mentioned drop shipping. For someone that knows absolutely nothing about drop shipping at all, give them just a basic
rundown
explanation of what drop shipping is.
Okay, so let's give it a very simple example. So what you do is you're able to find a product for very cheap, so like a wholesale price. So let's say, for example, let's say this was fake, right? Because if this was fake, you would drop ship something like this, right? So Shop GLD, they drop ship. That's how they started. But what you would do is you would find something like this for $5. Right? And then you would sell it for $20. But the great thing about drop shipping is you don't buy the product first. You sell it first, then buy the product. So say I sold it for $20, then I would go ahead and turn around to, for example, my supplier, Tom, turn around to him and be like, hey, Tom, I made a sale. I'm going to give you $5. Now I keep the $15. you know, and then he ships the product directly to the customer. That's why I love dropshipping so much, is because there's no really overhead cost.
Right.
There's nothing you have to put up front. Yeah, Shopify fee, domain,
Yeah.
you know, ad cost, that's like $50, testing, whatever. But other than that, you don't have to have a warehouse full of products to start this business model, dude. I started on a school Chromebook, bro. Like, I started on a school Chromebook in my room. No business license, honestly, no fucking clue what I was doing, and I just started it, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, the big step is starting it. There's a lot of people who come to me and ask me so many questions, and I'm like, bro, just try it out. The big thing is learning while you do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, you can learn from someone who does $100 million a year, but you will never learn more, you know, than you won't learn as much from actually doing it. You know what I mean? Like, if you do it, you'll pick up things. A lot of it's just like memory and, you know, picking it up, because you learn from your mistakes. You know, learning from your mistakes is super huge in business. But that's really the rundown on drop shipping. It's honestly a pretty simple business model, you know?
All right. This is separate, but we talked about it a little bit before. You were saying if you want to be successful, what to you do you define as success? Define success for me.
That's a hard word to define, you know? I think it's different for everyone. You know, for you guys, maybe having a really big podcast with a lot of views and a lot of followers is like, that's your success. My success is, I don't think I'm successful yet. You know, my success is when my parents are retired. You know, I have over $1 million in the bank. You know, that's my success. I mean, people come to me like, you know, how are you so successful? I mean, I guess for an 18-year-old kid, you know, I've done pretty well for myself, right? But yeah, success is just a word that it's definition is different for everyone else. You know, someone will come to me and they made $1,000 in the week. That's success for them. Mm-hmm. You know, if I make $1,000 in the week, bro, I am stressing.
Yeah, it's not.
You know, my car is gonna go get towed. You know, it's not gonna work for me. So it's different for everyone. Yeah. But you know, that's just how the world works. Everyone's put in a different situation. You know.
100%. Do you believe that money buys happiness?
That's a quite good question. I mean, I think so. Right now, I'm young. So a lot of people are like, oh, bro's young giving life advice. So obviously I haven't really experienced too much of the world. You know, I haven't had a wife. I haven't had kids. So I don't really know a lot of aspects of life just yet. But right now, as a 18-year-old kid, I would say, yeah. You know, my car makes me smile every day. You know, my apartment makes me smile. You know, being able to go out to, you know, nice dinners that cost, you know, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, they make me happy. You know, all these things make me happy. I'm not getting these things without money. I'm sure I'd be able to find happiness without money, but I guess you could say it's a quicker route to happiness. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I have a wife and kids and money just buys me depression, you know? I wouldn't know yet. But right now I would say, yeah, I think so. 100%.
How do you feel? You feel like we're good?
Sure. Dude, go at it. All your questions you want, bro. I love this shit. It's so fun to talk. Some people are like super awkward when they speak, you know? Like they're like...
No, bro, it's just solid. No, believe me, I understand. I've had some people come over, they're like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm like, we're just chilling. I'm like,
yeah, right?
Like, if you like, it's really not
the
that
greatest
deep.
thing to do is honestly start without an intro and just talk. Yeah, exactly. And then add the intro at the end.
You could just
That's what a podcast
intro.
is supposed to be. It should literally feel like someone's just listening in onto a conversation.
Dude, I've watched some terrible podcasts of just like people who force it.
What kind of podcast you listen to?
Honestly, I'll watch the Full Send podcast a lot.
Love the Full Send podcast.
You know, I mean, it's not really informational. You know, they kind of just talk about life stuff and, you know, crazy stories. It's really hard for me to sit down and watch like an hour podcast. I think I have like ADHD or something. I can't sit still for a certain period of time. I can't read books. I wish I could read books. So much information in there. I would really recommend reading books, but it's hard for me to do that. So I usually just like, I say TikTok is my podcast. You know, I'll watch like those 15-second clips of the good clips, you know, and that's how I am. But I've seen some podcasts, clips of like that. It's just like, it's super forced conversation.
No, it's ass.
It's like,
no.
You can tell, like they wrote down every question. They sat down, gave the basic answer, stopped,
moved on to the next.
No actual like genuine conversation like we had. Like I had a talk, then you brought it into your life. I brought it into my life. You know, that's what a podcast should be about. You know, that's what the good podcasts are.
100%. It's a conversation. Do you have for yourself, right? We talked about right now, what, you have 2 M4s?
2 M4s, yeah.
Right now you have 2 M4s. You were telling me off camera, but you want to tell people on camera what your next move is, or you?
I'm gonna keep that low key for now until like I don't say anything to like the public. I'll tell people, close friends, when it's like super official.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am working on another car, hopefully here soon. It's gonna be an upgrade from my M4. It's like a $200,000 car. It's a big upgrade. My M4 right now, it's like 100. I think the market value is like 110. So it's still an upgrade. I'm working on it though. Again, getting cars at a young age is super difficult. Like, it's either full cash or you know someone. I'm sorry, that's how it is. Yes. You know. And honestly, I actually met up with a student of mine who was having the same problem. He's like, yo, I want a nice car. You know, I've made some money. I'm like, bro, you're either going to have to put full cash or you need to know someone, bro. And honestly, I would do everything to avoid large down payments. Everything. It's the dumbest decision you can make, you know? It's just, you can take that cash. Like, for example, right now, Ethereum's down, bro. Like, crazy. You could just throw 30 grand in there and who knows, in 2 to 3 months it's going to be worth, you know, 60, 90. I don't really know, but you know, crypto's going to go back up.
Do you invest? Do you have stuff in crypto right now?
Yeah, I do have stuff in crypto. I take a lot of things in crypto just so I can leave it there. I actually like to have least amount of cash on me as possible because I find that the less cash I have, the less I spend, and I have a terrible spending habit. Really? Like, I've had months where I've spent like, you know, I made like 50K that month and I spent like 40 of it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And it really, and honestly, I go back and I'm like, what did I spend the money on? You know? But that's why also having mentors is good. Like I have someone to look up to. He's actually my best friend's father. And he gives me a lot of good advice about like receipts and, you know, keeping track of things and, you know, finances, saving money, you know, and I've really looked up. That's been super good advice because recently my spending have gone down from like 40 to like 20-ish, 10-ish range. And obviously ad costs, I don't count ad costs as like expenses. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking like legit, like dinners, designer clothes. Like I'm spending upwards of like $40,000 a month. And I've just worked on kind of, you know, trimming that down a bit, you know.
What do you think just the final destination is for you? You know, everyone talks about, oh, like I'm big on manifestation and I believe that I could achieve this. Do you have like a daily affirmation that you tell yourself that you're manifesting? Is there something specifically that you're manifesting towards?
I mean, it changes every month, you know, because honestly I hit my goals very quick. I was
gonna say, like how do you set your goals? Do you set a weekly goal, a daily goal, a monthly goal?
There's no like specific time frame. Like I wouldn't say like every single month there's like a new thing I want to hit, but it's like, for example, when I wanted an M4, I fucking made that my goal. You know, I had a beautiful 2019 M4 and I made that my dream build. I really fucking wanted it. I pushed myself so hard. And it's funny because once I got it, I became lazy until I found that new goal. Then the new M4 came out and I was like, fuck, this one's better than my old one. And I really hated myself because I didn't have one. Yeah. So what I did, I pushed myself. I think I posted on my story, should I get this? 2 months later, I had one. Yeah. You know? And then now it's like, I really want a Huracan. You know? I really want a Lamborghini. And I know we talked off camera, that's not what I'm getting next. But that's something that's pushing me every day, you know. I want to get that. So I kind of use like materialistic items as like a push for me. I love cars. A lot of people love cars. A lot of guys love cars. So I use that to push me. And another thing was like moving out, you know. That was like a longer term goal, you know, get my own apartment, get all of that. And I just use that as something to fuel my fire. But there's not like a, you know, I wake up, you know, for example, this week I woke up and I told Matt, you know, I want to make $100,000 this week, you know. And we'll see if that happens. That's a really big stretch. I've never done that. But, you know, it kind of just comes up in my head and I bring it up and then I keep hammering it home. Yeah. Because I'm sorry, but if you just keep going at it, keep reminding yourself, I want this, 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 it's going to happen eventually. Right. Whether you're 65, 30, you know, 18, you know, it's going to happen eventually. Unless you're just, you have no motivation at all in your life, you know?
Do you have a specific age that you want to retire?
I was about to bring that up.
I mean, I don't want to retire. I don't think there's like a retiring.
Never. We don't retire.
Oh,
Never.
Never.
let's get him a mic. Hold on, where's the?
Is there a mic back there?
Touching back, we are here with.
I am Ethan Duran.
Great to have you here, guys. I don't know if we filled everyone in. We're actually in like because everyone's used to like the same setting. I don't think did I say that
We didn't
we're-
introduce it.
Yeah,
no.
we're in a brand new setting today. Like this
Yeah.
is like we're actually in New York filming today. This is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Usually we film actually in our basement. We have like a wood backdrop and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy. We film in our basement.
Soon
we have, like,
to be changed.
Yes,
Soon
sir.
to be changed, hopefully.
We film with like a wood backdrop. We just like so we grind out down there, but it's cool to see like the new setting. Like you guys showed love. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, so like actually I wanted to open a podcast one time, and one of my really good friends that knows a lot of like important big people, he said the best thing you could do if you want to grow a podcast is build a mobile podcast. Because like how can you convince somebody as busy as like Will Smith or Kevin Hart or something somebody that's like super big to like, hey, come to my studio, do this.
not
do
gonna
that.
happen.
It's not gonna happen. Now, for their manager or somebody to agree to like, hey, listen, we'll make it super easy. We'll go to their house. We'll go to their hotel. Oh, he's filming a movie in Atlanta. We'll go to Atlanta. We're going wherever they're at. We just need them for 20, 30 minutes. When they're at, they could be taking a shower, getting ready, about to go on a shoot. We'll set it all up, and then in the meantime, they can come in for 20 minutes and go ahead and knock it out. So.
No,
That's the advice they gave me. So I'm just relaying it forward. Be definitely for like people like at that caliber that are very, very busy. Just accommodating for them would be huge.
100%. Yeah, that's awesome. And I feel like it's kind of how it went today. Like literally, obviously, you guys are busy. We're like,
Yeah.
Packed it all up.
yeah, packed it all up, hit the road.
We've actually been shooting videos all day today.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
Content all day, and I thought, I mean, it would be cool,
A little closer.
because I can give you guys like the like, invite you guys to my- I can invite you guys to my place and kind of like give you, how I live, like a better sense. Because like, if I go to your place, yeah, I would have came in my M4, but like give you more of a sense. Like I feel like this gives you more opportunity to ask me questions.
Yeah.
Kind of see how I am. You get to talk to me and meet me a little bit. We obviously get to show you around. Like, dude, the amenities in this place are fucking crazy. I mean, Matt told you, like, golf simulator, full size basketball court. Like you don't get this shit in New York City. Like it's a legit compound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I lived in New York when I was poor as shit. Like, can you cuss?
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro.
Oh, okay. So I lived in New York when I was poor as shit. I'm talking about dirt poor, like Subway every single day. And I hated it. So I moved to LA. And I swear to myself I would never come back. And I came back about a year and a half ago. But I'm rich now, you feel me? It's like it's a big difference. Like New York is so amazing when you have money. I mean, I'm driving around in a Lamborghini in New York, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's with me all the time, and like the experience you get is insane. Cause like, I lived in LA, I lived in Miami, and I lived in New York, and in all three states or cities, I've had Lambos. And in LA, you got all the little like, suck up girls and guys that want to like, steal from you or whatever.
Posers.
I've been in LA, bro. It's not fun.
And then in Miami, so when you get that kind of attention from those, and then in Miami, you basically get none. Like a Urus or a Huracan, that's regular in Miami. Like you're just another taxi. But in New York, it's so insane to have a kind of car like that because parking is insane and insurance is insane. I mean, look, just here is $1,500 a month for parking for each Lambo that I have, and then insurance is like another. Well, I pay nothing because I have a bunch of cars, but for one car it's over $1,000 if it's a Lambo, right? So it's like so expensive to keep in the city, and mind you have to consider, okay, not only do I have to pay for parking and insurance is higher, I have to live in a place that provides parking,
Right.
And 95% of places in New York don't have parking,
Yeah.
so you most likely gonna have to find like a off-site parking,
Right.
which is pretty insane. And just being here in the city with that is just surreal. Like you get the people that you see, is just like, for me, like when I drive around in like a Lambo and stuff like that, it makes me feel good because I see the people's reaction to it. And it reminded me when I was a kid and I would see a Lambo, right? So I didn't see a Lambo until I was like 16. When I saw one, I was like, oh my God, like I see it, right?
Yeah.
Because as a kid, when you're growing up, if you're not around it, you want to have it, and you tell your parents, I'm going to have a Lamborghini one day. And they're like, yes, you will, little John.
Yeah.
But like, they don't really believe you or take you serious. So it seems like a dream. Once you see it in person, it becomes real. It becomes like, okay, well, I can see it with my own eyes, right? So I feel like for me, when I drive around in a Lamborghini and stuff like that in New York, it's like I give people hope.
Yeah.
Multiple things. One, obviously I'm young. Two, I'm colored. Three, I'm an immigrant. So like when people see me hop out of that car and they see that I'm a little younger, they see that I'm a colored kid, they're like, I can see that it brings them hope.
Yeah.
Like most people kind of like, they get really annoyed when like a hobo's on the side like dancing like, the Lambo man, look at all that shit. But for me, it's like, oh, I'm giving that guy hope.
Yeah.
I'm showing him that if I can do it, you can do it, because there's nothing different from anybody else. The only difference is maybe the amount of work you put in, right? Like I did a TikTok video because he's putting me on TikTok when I was like, listen, being successful is actually very easy. And I said, step 1, start your business, and step 2, don't quit in the first week.
Yeah.
And then John, my camera guy, he was like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, I mean, realistically, that's it. Like, if you work consistently long enough, it's going to double and triple and quadruple. Actually, I'm going to show you guys this little trick that, obviously, I do coaching for 3 people a month. I only have to do 3 people a month because I really make money, I'm busy. But this is one thing that I like to show them because it's insane. I'm going to show you guys. If you guys want to maybe like screen record one later on and put it on the camera.
For sure.
Because it's like I have a privacy screen. But here, guys, all right? So here I have 1 cent, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to double that cent for 30 days. So in 2 days, we have 2 cents. That's not a lot of money, obviously. You're fucking broke. You can't even buy a fucking burger. But that's 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, 13 days, 14 days, 15 days. So that's no fucking money.
No.
$163, right? $160 in 15 days. I mean, dude, you're about to go broke, You can't even pay rent. So let's finish those 15 days, right? You have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We just got to 5 million.
Yeah.
So we just doubled 1 cent. You saw that, right? We doubled 1 cent every day for 30 days, right? So when I say start a business and don't quit in the first week, it's like just fucking double your money. Double whatever it costs you to start the business, right? Whether it takes you more than a day, just double it. And then once you double it, double that again. And then double it one more time and one more time. So, when it comes to like business and life and success, it's like, it's about finding doubles. But how do you find these doubles? It's by keep going. Just don't quit. Yeah. Keep going, nonstop. Don't give up. If you don't find a double in 1 week, you'll find it in the next week. So don't quit in your first week, because you either trade your time for money for somebody else, or you double your own money. You get that?
Yes.
How crazy was it to see 1 cent turn to 5 million in 30 days?
It's insane.
Right?
Yeah.
Stupid. So it's like I said, find those doubles. Whether it's by, if you're doing one podcast a week, doing 2 podcasts a week, right? How does that change, right? And then like with the doubles, it's a funny thing too, because once you start making different kinds of, a bunch of money from one thing, you realize, okay, well, doubles will come from not doing more but adding things, and then sometimes doing less, right? So if you're doing like 1 podcast a week, and then you do 2 podcasts a week, now you're getting double the views and you're getting double the income. Then you're thinking, okay, well, let's do 3 podcasts a week. Maybe 3 podcasts will hurt more than making more. So then you dial it back to 2 podcasts a week. You're like, okay, now how can I double it again if doing 1 more podcast isn't the key? So it's like, okay, well, maybe let's find more guests. Maybe let's do 2 guests instead of 1, or maybe let's add a different theme to it, or maybe we do 2 podcasts a week, but we do 1 behind the scenes, right? So like when the podcast is done, we'll go with that person that was a guest, and we'll do like a video with them, like what happens after we go out to eat. Maybe we go out clubbing, maybe we go do something like play basketball together. So now you have 2 podcasts a week and 1 or 2 behind the scenes. Now that's doubled again, right? So then after that's okay, let's find the next double. So doubles is a funny game, but I like to show it to people because doubling will get you to where you got to be. So start your business. Don't quit in the first week.
And you said there was a point in time where you were broke.
Oh, extremely.
So what was your process?
What changed for you?
Yeah, how'd you change it?
You know what? Like, the thing is, like, for me, like, saying I'm broke or I was broke, it's obviously in comparison to where I am now, right? Like, I never struggled. I never had, like, I never, like, needed anything. My mom worked very hard, single mom. My mom was the type of woman that, like, let's say she made $5 a month, right? If my mom made $5 a month, she would give me 3 so that I never felt like I was less than anybody else. She would give herself 1 and then put 1 for my future. So
like
$4.
Yeah, my mom too.
Yeah, so $4 would go to me. 3 for now, or maybe like 2 for now, for me to not feel less than anybody else, maybe my school. And the rest for my future, and like 1 or maybe half $1 for her, like very minimal kind of lifestyle. But obviously he paid out for her. I mean, now obviously like I paid for everything for her. She has a house in Florida, she has a house here in Jersey, she has a house in Miami, and I paid for her car, her insurance, you know, she has my Amex expense. My mom lives her life now, so he paid out for her. But yeah, that's kind of like how I grew up. Like I don't want to say like, I feel like it'd be disrespectful for me to say I was super broke, because we were, but I didn't feel like I was, because I had obviously PS3, PS5, you know, brand new clothes, brand new shoes. But that was at the expense of my mom working extremely hard.
So I graduated high school. I actually had, it's crazy. I actually had some.
You're 17. You did it early too.
Yeah. So I had
Congrats,
some.
bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I had some health issues going on. So I was able to graduate high school early. As soon as I got healthy enough to work again, I went right to work, and I was like, I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can for the next 3.5 months and save all my money, spend no money. Literally told my girlfriend, I was like, I'm not spending any money on you right now. I was like, I'm saving all my money, and I'm just going to bust my ass for the next 3.5 months. Yeah. Worked like 70-hour weeks for 3.5 months, saved a bunch of money. Dara did the same thing so that we could be in a position to where, okay, now we're two people, we're brothers, right? We'll put this money in one pile. And whatever we need to cover, I don't want mom and dad ever having to pay for stuff for us. We're going to make whatever we do as far as business goes in our endeavors work. And we're just going to go hard on it. And we're going to just be relying upon this pile for now, because we want to make it for ourselves. You know?
I like how you said, you know, we didn't want to spend any money, we saved it all. I find it a common mistake for people to think that the key is to save. Saving doesn't do nothing. Like it's always about making more. Okay, like if you're making $1,000 a month and you're saving 900, you're not gonna get rich by saving 900. It's always about making more. So like, if you took it all from me right now, right, and you gave me $1,000, I would spend that $1,000 within 3 seconds trying to make more. Going back to what Aaron was saying earlier, I heard a couple of things that I really agree with him. It's like, number one, you know, Aaron's 18 years old, I'm 24, and I took a huge liking onto him because people will pay me anywhere from 10 to 35,000 bucks just to like have some kind of mentorship from me, right? And they'll pay that, and they'll like expect to be rich and like not follow the instructions. Aaron paid me absolutely nothing to be my friend, and if I told Aaron, hey, go do this, he does it like this, right? Like earlier he said, I was like, yo, that wallet's too big, go change that. Go get a nice wallet that's slim, it's gonna fit your pants, and it's not gonna make you look like a fucking drug dealer, you know, with a whole big amount of cash. And he did that. I told Aaron, hey, move into the building ASAP, right? I don't have to give him explanations on why. Like, obviously I told him to do that because I want him to be in a different environment. I want him to be pushed, you know? I want him to not, because like when he came, he was like, oh, I have an M4, you know, look at this, look at that, look at that. And I was like, bro, you ain't shit. Yeah. And clearly where you are is making you think like you're this guy, so you need to not feel that way. You need to like come here and be around me and see me drive a Lambo every day, see everybody else over here spend this much money, so you work harder. Because where he is right now in life, he is super ahead. But you don't want to feel that. You want to make sure that he feels like he needs to do more and more and more. Because this guy, he absorbs everything. Absolutely everything. I tell him, move in, he moves in. Like, he doesn't question it. He doesn't do whatever. Dude, he just, boop, paid it for it and moved in on the spot. I tell him, hey, do this. Boop, he does it. Obviously, like, he's seeing the results happening right away, but he's not questioning it. He's taking action.
Aaron, how'd your parents feel? How'd your parents feel about you moving?
I mean, my mom was just upset. You know, she loves me. She stays at home, so she missed me. But you know,
he's got a personality you can't contain, though.
Yeah,
like I was thinking about that when I was like, yo, like I sometimes I forget how young he is. I'm like, yo, where the fuck is his parents? They just let him do it. But then I thought about it. You can't really contain him. Like if he says he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. Like
I do it.
Like Aaron's not looking at like if I tell Aaron, hey, what are you doing? He's not thinking, oh, how am I going to tell my mom that I'm going to do this? He's thinking Lambo. A billion. Like his mindset is on that thing. And until he gets it, he's not going to like stop, you know?
Yeah.
He's going to keep pushing that being that good. And I think your biggest thing, your biggest gift is you take action.
Yeah.
Because you can't fault taking action, right? If it takes you 3 days to do something that took him a couple minutes, by the time you take action, he's on level 50. You're still on level 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at a young age like he is, I really get to see firsthand how big taking action plays. Yeah. Like big. I see him one day, he's making $2K a day. The next day he's making 10,000. The next day he's making 15,000, and it's happening like at a blink of an eye, just because he's taking action all kinds of ways, right? Let's say Aaron's making 10K this today, right? And then he takes action on this, and that made him lose money. Then he knows, okay, let me go back to this. Then he takes action again over here. He makes 12K. He's like, okay, cool, this is good. Let me keep doing this.
Yeah.
So he's like continuously just investing in himself, investing in more things, and investing in his growth. And like I said again, just taking action on every single opportunity that shows his way. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a business opportunity, whether it's an investment, he'll just take action. Like meeting you guys right now is taking action, you know?
Yeah.
Some people might be like, oh, let me get a haircut. Oh, let's wait for the right time. I want to make sure like my whole house is set up. This is the right way.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, cool, let's do it right now.
Let's do it, yeah.
I'll make it happen, right? Like we were out shooting all day. He's like, oh, we got to be back at this time so we can shoot. All right, cool. I want the guys to like me. I'm going to go ahead and order food for this guy. So it's like just taking action and making things happen as it goes is going to put you just so far ahead than people like put it out to be. Like, I think people online, they think when we say take action, we're trying to be like, yo, buy this shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, like, change your fucking life. Because whatever the fuck you're doing is not doing nothing for you.
Exactly.
Like, you're still in the same place you were yesterday. I made more money than I made yesterday. Why? Because I took action or something. And it's like, at the point you probably are in life, if you're watching this, it's like, anything you take action on will make you more money. Take advantage of it now. Don't wait until the older you get, right? Like Grant Cardone, Manny Koshman, these guys are so old. For them, it's not about taking action. For them now, it's about like thinking about what are the good things to take action, you know? But for people like us, it's like, yo, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And dude, the big thing like he touched on was like how I came here, and I'm gonna sound like a spoiled piece of shit, but like I got here and I feel broke. Like I feel like I have no money. My town, I was the man. Driving around, nice M4, 2 nice M4s, beautiful girlfriend, like everything. I pay for everyone, like I take care of everyone, you know, everyone knows me, you know. Then I come here and it's like Ethan's driving around the Lamborghini and I'm sitting in my M4. Lamborghinis, yeah. And I'm sitting in my M4 and I'm like, dude, I have no money.
It's a fire M4 though. It's a nice M4. Fire M4.
But it's like, you know,
we went out the other night, and what was let's be real. Let's keep, obviously, like this podcast being super real, so let's keep it that way. How much was the most you've ever spent at a club before me? Be real.
Like $1,000.
You said $1,000, right?
Yeah, $1,000.
So we went out Friday, okay?
God.
And you know, partying with Papa Ethan's a little bit different. But I have to show Aaron that you have to work harder because there's always another fucking level. And Friday, it wasn't $1,000. I'll tell you that right now. We went to 3 different places just to end up at one after party.
Yeah.
So we went to 4 places essentially, and we ended up spending a total of $18,000 that one day. Mind you, that was not even planned. We did that last minute. It was quick. Right now for Aaron, you know, he saw it like I just swipe everything in the card. My card would never get declined. You know, just swipe it, and then at the end, obviously, we're all friends, so we split it up after.
What we do card roulette. So what we'll do is we'll throw everyone's card in.
I feel bad,
the first few times I backed out because I was like, and then I finally said it. I finally said I'll put my card in because I was like, you know, let's do it.
Oh, we do even crazier stuff. So every morning we go to the gym and we box. I'm trying to teach Aaron how to fight. So we'll do jump rope contests. So we'll start jumping up. Like, yo, the first one to mess up has to pay for a brunch. And then he messed up the other day. So to teach him a lesson, I took him and I made him pay for me, him, and my mom for a brunch.
It was like 1,000. It was something.
No, it's like $700. Wasn't that crazy? Because it was brunch food. Yeah, still though.
Whatever.
So now, you know, every time we go jump rope, he doesn't want to miss.
I don't want to miss that jump rope, bro. That's 1,000 negative. I mean, we'll make it back during brunch, but still, like, you know, you don't want to miss that jump rope. But again, there's levels to this shit, you know.
I jump rope for fun. There's no cash on the line.
You should come tomorrow, bro. Let's do it. You want to play for brunch,
bro? How far do you live from here?
Dude, I'll come back.
Yeah, I'll definitely come back. You guys are chill as fuck.
We go in the morning at 7 a.m. So you have to go early. I made one of my boys. He joined my program, and he was like, "Yo, what's next?" And something about him just gave me like a weird vibe. Like I said, like he was like just like on me, and I was like, "You know what's next? Be in my house at 7 a.m. tomorrow." And then he actually did, and he came, and we worked out, and then we fucking just networked and did mad stuff then. But he actually showed up. It took him a long time to get here, but he did. He told me he didn't even sleep that whole night. He was just excited.
Wait, was I there?
Yeah, Michael.
Oh, Michael. Yeah.
See, if I'm somehow part of that roulette, that jump rope is not It's not stopping. It will not stop.
Why not? Because you got to think about it like this. Look, even if you lose, you're gonna get to have dinner with me, Aaron.
No, 100%.
It won't be a podcast. It's gonna be more like, because like for us, like it's two things that happen at dinners, right? You're either hanging out with somebody that makes more than you, or hanging out with somebody that makes less money than you. Mm-hmm. What do you do if you're hanging out with somebody that makes more than you? You're asking them a ton of questions.
You absorb. Yeah.
What do you do if you're hanging out with somebody that makes less money than you? You just help them for free because like, well, we're here, and I don't talk about my ex-girlfriend's pussy. I don't talk about what my friends is fucking doing. I don't talk about drama. All we talk about is about business. So if there's not somebody here that I can ask questions to grow, then I'm just going to teach this person that's here about what I'm doing that will help them and like what I think would benefit them to grow. But like, you know, the being able to do that, it's like so much fucking fun to be able to just go out and spend like 18K. Want, Like if I saw that a couple of years ago and somebody told me, and I saw it in a video, I'd be like, oh, these guys got it. These guys are so rich. But it's like, bro, it's a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple of years happened like by like this. Like a couple of days ago, he wasn't doing that. A couple of days later, a couple of weeks later, he's doing that with me now, and we're going out like that. And then hopefully one day we'll be at a Dan Bilzerian level. Spending $100,000 on a party, and you know that
we'll get there.
It's a dream. We'll definitely get there. But you know, I think like putting yourself in positions where you have no other choice but to do it. Right? Like if you live at home with your parents and like you have like a regular car or whatever, and you have a couple $1,000 in your account, you probably feel like, okay, you're like, oh, I feel safe. You know, I can pay my bills, but you're not happy. Right? Yeah. So like if I tell you, hey, do this, and you're like, well, I can do that, but it'll put me in an uncomfortable position. You may think to yourself, I don't want to be in that uncomfortable position. Yeah. But being in that uncomfortable position, you have no other fucking choice but to make it happen. Exactly. Right? Like you have to go out there and get it by every means necessary. And I feel like when you don't have that choice of, well, I can survive, something in you just makes it happen.
Yes.
Like makes it happen. It's like, okay, well, I am not gonna go back to school being fat. I am not gonna go back to school being super skinny.
Or just in general.
I am not gonna get kicked out. You know, I am not gonna be called a fucking loser. Like I just cannot have that.
Exactly.
Like, or I literally just can't miss my car payment. Like if my car gets repoed, oh my God, I just don't even like, I can't, you know, that's not life anymore.
Yeah.
Like when you put yourself in that position, it's like, you have to do it. I always feel a little bit scared making that kind of statement because like, yo, what if somebody follows me and like that does that and then it doesn't work out for them?
It backfires.
But
that's life.
It's always worked out for me. It's always worked out for everybody that I've told them to do it. And that's just really because it's like at the end of the day, you know, you want to live and you want to do it, so you make it happen any means necessary.
Playing safe, I think, could be either the best option or the worst option. I think in most case scenarios, sometimes it's the worst option. Because safe, there's no like movement. You don't really go anywhere. You know, as Ethan said too, is like, you know, people come to us and they're like, you know, I want to make a change in their life, but they don't change anything day to day. They expect that change to just happen. You know, I'm sorry, working your job in Subway, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if
somebody has to do that.
Well, I mean, you know, someone has to do it, but like,
I think education is a problem. Like, my mom never let me work at Subway. My mom never let me have like a regular job, like you know, a part-time job in school or anything like that, because she just didn't think that was going to teach me the right things. If you send your kid, and I'm talking to all the parents, if you send your kid to work, you are doing a horrible job. You're literally like letting them know that they need to trade their time for money. Like, I would never let my kid work for Subway or anything like that. Like, my kid is gonna go to a fucking private school in London to network, to bring more business into my family. You get what I'm saying? Like, I've never had a job. And I believe that's the reason why I'm so successful, because I've never traded my time for money. I've never said to myself, oh, I'm going to work 13 hours so that I can buy this pair of shoes, you know? I've never thought that in my head. In my head, I'm like, okay, I need to make, let's say, $1,000 so I can buy this pair of Yeezys. I don't know how much Yeezys go for nowadays. Then I'm going to go make that $1,000. I'm not thinking about a time or how much I got to fucking be at some place to make it happen. I'm thinking, how am I going to do it? Yeah. And I might do it in the next 10 minutes. I might do it in the next hour. I might do it in the next 3 days. But that's fine. I'm finding a way on how to do it, right? One of my biggest things is like Rockefeller said, you guys know who Rockefeller is, right?
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Rockefeller said, I want a nation of workers, not thinkers, right? Like, education is so fucking fraud. I hate it. It pisses me off. Like, they make you do 12 years of fucking school to learn basically nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, guys, I went to school until 12 in Dominican Republic. I learned geometry in first grade. In the U.S., they teach you that shit
Like
on
fifth grade.
fucking 10th grade.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
10th.
geometry. Oh,
Geometry.
Yeah, like 10th. Yeah.
It's 10th grade. I learned that in first grade, bro. Like, especially in the U.S., it's like so bad. It's so corrupt. And then like, bro, how you telling me I can go to school and get a loan for $50,000, $80,000, but I can't get a loan to start my fucking business?
Exactly.
You give me $5K, I'll make $1 million. You give me $5,000, I'll turn that $5,000 into a fucking million. You can't give me that, but you can give me $50,000 in debt. Like, the average 24-year-old has a fucking negative net worth.
Yeah,
That's
it's
insane.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
They want you to go to school, and after school, it's like, hey, no, don't start thinking about how you can be rich. I want you to go here for 4 years and owe me money, right? Like, the fact that we live in a world where you're born and your duty is to progress a nation for somebody else, and no matter what you do, it's like this, right? They tell you, hey, come into this country, well, get born, right? Like, and do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do, but no matter what you do, I need this much. Isn't that crazy to think
That's
about?
insane.
Like, think about it like this, bro. You can do whatever you want. Just don't do this specific rules, because why? We don't like it.
Yeah.
Right? We don't like it. And if you do, we're going to throw you in the pen. But do anything else you want. But everything you do, make sure you give me my cut.
Yeah.
That's insane. It's literally like slavery. Like, it's like modern slavery, bro.
It is.
You
You're
know?
trading your
It's-
time for paper.
Bro, trading time for paper and making sure that they get their cut. If I go out there, right, and I risk $1 million to make 10 million, I gotta give these guys their cut,
Yeah.
you know, on what I made. If I lose it, though, they don't help me out. They're like, oh, you lost it? We don't want any.
Yeah.
We only want if you win.
You
Awesome.
took like a irregular path, you know?
Huh?
You kind of had like an irregular path, like not a normal path.
I've never even used it. I never had a job, guys. Ever.
Never. Same with me.
Ever.
I've never worked at all. I think the only ever work I did was I volunteered with my father at a veterans hospital. That's the only thing I did, and that was just kind-hearted, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I mean, I've never worked. Again, like I told
Such
you,
a nice guy.
I figured this stuff out when I was 12.
I think it's just so
We're
rooted.
still figuring out.
It's just so rooted in people. Like, literally, there was a shift that I was working. Me and Dario, we worked. We were working in an ice cream shop, like at the time, like just busting ass. So we're in there, and a guy comes in, right? And you know, sometimes older people like they kind of like to tell their life story, like they'll just like give it up, off rip. So he's so he's like telling us like all about himself, just like out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even ask him. I'm like, how are you, sir? Like, what can I get for you? And he just kind of like starts going in like about his life. Like, after we start talking, he's like, oh, you're a big guy. You play any sports? I used to play this sport back in my day. So
I hate people that talk so much like that. Like, it's like, yo, like, keep it going,
So-
bro.
It's an ice cream
so
shop.
he's
That's
so-
what happened.
so he started like just going in as to what he did, and he was
Yo,
like,
is it like a common thing? Your girlfriend wants to an ice cream shop too.
don't
Why
know.
is everybody working at an ice cream shop? What's going on?
I don't know.
Well,
World's changing, bro.
we stopped working there. But anyway, whilst we were there, he was like, yeah, he's like, you know, really, I have no complaints. And this guy was, I want to say 65, 66, 67, somewhere in that range. He was like, I got my job through my welding union when I was 24. Worked for the last 40 years and have an amazing pension. I'm gonna go move to Florida.
Pension?
He was like, I lived the American dream. That's literally what
A
he's.
pension is literally telling somebody like, hey, I let these people choose how much I get paid.
Well, yeah.
Well, they give you the golden handcuffs with all these incentives, and you know they do similar they do similar things across all different fields. Like, for example, police officers. Oh, you put in another extra X amount of years, and we'll give you this much more money on your pension, and we'll give your kids insurance for their health insurance for a longer amount of time. So it's like, what do you want me to do?
never
Work
had
till you're
insurance.
70 years old?
You really think about it though, because
I've never had insurance, like health insurance. I think it's a scam. I'm 24 years old. I've never been like sick or like I need more than just like 2-3 days like of rest. I never broken anything. If I spent $400 in insurance every single month, or if my job took it from me, I would have been robbed this whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm successful enough now that if I get sick or injured, I can pay for it. But like, think about it. It's like us. It's like, I feel like the use is like, oh, what if you
Exactly.
get sick? What if this happens? What if you get a cavity, bro? A fucking
if I
cavity
fucking
is like $2. I'm about $20.
The lifestyle
$40.
they force you to live is all based upon just fear mongering.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think insurance is the biggest fraud there is. The only insurance I like, obviously, is car insurance, because that's just really out of your control. Like, obviously, if you eat healthy and stuff like that, why would you get sick, right? It could happen, but like, what are the chances? I know people eat like shit, smoke cigarettes, do drugs all day, and they're mad healthy. Now, car insurance, I get, because like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
people driving on the street drunk, a lot of stupid people in the world. So that, I think, is not a scam. But every other kind of insurance, I think, is a scam.
I mean, I look at Ethan as like a hopefully future version of myself, like.
Yeah, I see myself in you a lot.
Yeah, because, like, I look at people, I'm like, okay, this is what I can achieve. Obviously I'm 18, he's 24, so I'm on the right track, I'm on the right path, and that does give me motivation. And then, like, every day I'm like, oh, you know what, I can get there one day. He's proof of that.
When I was 18, I used to like always say to people, when a lot of people always said to like myself, like, what's the worst that can happen? I just moved back with my parents.
Yeah, right.
But my biggest gift in life is the same gift that Aaron has, is that I'm able to learn from other people, except and not from experience. So a lot of people be like, oh, well, I'll do drugs and I'll be fine until I get caught. Like, once I get caught, that's when I'll stop. So it's like they have to experience it to stop. So for me, it's like, okay, well, I see a fucking crack on the street. Yep, I don't want to do that. I don't have to be there to know I don't want to do that, right?
Exactly.
It's like, okay, I'll see people that are struggling. Well, I don't want to struggle to like realize I don't want to struggle. Or like, so it goes both ways, right? Like, I'll see somebody making a lot of money one way, so I'll learn. I see somebody that did something wrong, I'll learn. Exactly. So I'll learn from positive and negatives from other people, instead of like having to go through experience. So when I say Aaron has so much potential, is because essentially he's absorbing the last 5 years of my life, right, as he's 18. So it's like, by the time he's my age, it's not even as a matter of if. It's like it is going to happen. He is going to be in a way better position than me, because he's absorbing absolutely everything. Like, my goal, obviously, is to absorb people who are making hundreds of millions of dollars, absorb everything that they're doing and that they've learned, and apply it now.
Yeah.
Like, if I met like Grant Cardone or somebody now, I just want to like absorb. Like, let me learn everything. I want to do everything that you're doing at whatever. How old is that guy? Like 63. I want to learn everything you're doing and know how to do it now.
Yeah.
So Aaron is like, he's learning everything that I'm doing.
I'm
now.
learning from people
Aaron,
like him.
When I met Aaron, he was making like $20K a month. The very like next 2-3 days, he implemented everything I told him. He started making $50K a month.
Yeah.
Like, literally like this, instantly, right? And I'm talking about to a T. Like, he just took everything and like applied it. So it's like, imagine if I now went and I applied what a person doing 100 million a month is doing, then copy paste, bro.
Yeah.
Unless I'm fucking ugly or something. But
what's the end financial goal for you? How much do you have? There's no financial goal for you.
Fuck no. Listen, bro.
Okay.
So, like I told you guys, I did real estate before, right? Mm-hmm. So here in New York City, you need to make 40 times the rent. So if you get an apartment that's like, 100K a month, you have to make 40 times that. And there are people paying 100K a month in rent. Trust me that. So in New York, let's say you want to get an apartment that's 5K a month, right? And let's say you have 100 million in the bank, and you go and apply for it, and they ask you for income, and you say, hey, I don't make any money, I just have 100 million in the bank. They're gonna tell you, well, pay the whole year up front because you don't make any money, right? Essentially, you're thinking, bro, what the fuck? This person has 100 million. Like, he can definitely pay 5K a month, right? A person that makes, let's say, 40 times the rent, let's say they make 200K a month, right? They can easily pay that 5K every single month, because that money is coming every month. As it comes in, he pays it. Comes in, he pays it. Yeah. A person that has 100 million in their account, right, can spend that 100 mil in one day, and then how will he pay the rent, right? So the way it's like, look, I can go buy a Bugatti 4.5 mil. I can go buy a yacht that's like 50 mil. I can go buy a house in the Hamptons that's 50 mil. I already spent 105 mil. How the fuck am I gonna pay the 5K in rent? So like, there is no like end goal, like the richer I get, the more money I spend. And
Tell me about it.
I met a guy. So I'm in the 8 figures, guys, right? So obviously over 10 mil net worth, but obviously I want to get to the 9 figures. I want to have like over 100 mil. But I met a guy that has about 600 million. He's worth 600 million. And me and him were talking, and I found out I had more cash than him, right? So I had, I don't want to say numbers and stuff like that, but
yeah, definitely don't.
Like I said, I'm worth 8 figures. He's worth deep in the 9 figures.
Deep 9.
Like soon to be a billionaire, right? Wow. And I found out I had more cash than him in the bank, which is funny because since I found that out, I'll be fucking with him. We'll be having dinners, we'll be having arguments, and I'll be like, all right, cool, let's play a game, brother. You want to talk? You're a big guy? Let's play a game. Let's both pull up our bank accounts right now. Whoever has more wins. And then obviously he doesn't do it because he lose, but he's like so much richer than me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he told me, he's like, hey Ethan, you don't want to have that much money in your account. I'm like, why? He goes, one, you don't want to have an institution have that much control over your assets, and number two, you want to kind of keep your back against the wall. You want to have your money in different places.
Yeah.
Like if you have 5-10 mil, put it in something. He said never keep more than 2 M's in your account. So I'll say how much he had. He had about 2 M's in his account, and he was complaining. He was like, I need to find somewhere to put this. I need to find like a property to buy. I need to find a business to invest in. I need to find a good stock to put it in. I need to find a good partner to give it to so they can do something with the money. I need to find a new NFT project. Like literally, this is what he said. I swear to God, he's an NFT project. He's older, but he's hip to new shit. And I was like, damn, this guy is complaining that he has 2 million in his account. Like, I need to get like that. So there's no end goal. I'll just keep investing. I'll keep buying things, and I keep accumulating things. I like watches a lot. Because like with watches, you just wear them every day and you keep them in your closet, but like
They retain the value.
Go up in value.
Bro, yeah.
My goal is by the end of 2025, I want to have at least, at the very minimum, 1 million worth of watches in my closet.
You're pretty close. How much do you have right now?
Nah. I sold a lot of watches.
Yeah, you did.
I sold like so many watches in the last 12 months. It's
good.
insane.
It's a good time to sell though.
I had to. Yeah, that's why. Like, if you give me an opportunity, I'm gonna take it. I can rebuy those watches for way less now, and I can buy them again for way less in like a couple months if I wait. So, but like, just being able to do that, I want to have at least like 5 million in diamonds. So diamonds is like, it's like a great place to park money if you're a drug dealer, if you like do something sketchy, because like you can make a necklace, like a tennis necklace that each diamond's worth like $1 million, and you would never know. So you put that necklace on, you walk out of the country, you just left the country with like $10 million,
Yeah.
and nobody will ever know. Nobody's gonna be like, hey, let me check those diamonds.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he could be fake, could be real, and if it's real, it's probably like 10K,
Yeah.
So I don't care.
Nobody's thinking they're
So
fine.
yeah, I want to keep diamonds. I want to keep watches. Have you guys seen Billions, the show? Well, that guy had like a basement where he had like gold bricks, he had cash, he had diamonds, he had all this stuff. And I saw that and I was like, that's fucking cool. I want to do that. So now I want that too. I want to keep like 1 mil in cash, 1 M in cash for sure. I don't know. I have like weird goals, like we were like, okay, I want to have 1 mil in cash just like sitting in the cash, not in the bank. I have that already, like in cash, like in my closet, just because, like where like I don't care if I get robbed, fuck it. So 1 mil, I want to have gold bricks. I want to have
recreate
diamonds.
like the Pablo Escobar scene where he burns the cash for warmth.
Hell no. Hell no. That's retarded, dude.
Cash is trash.
Dude, I was watching Narcos and I saw that.
If you don't
and
like
the fact
Narcos,
that
you're
was
not
based on a real
bro.
story, that was just ridiculous. I was like, are you kidding me?
Bro, and it's not even exaggerated either.
Insane.
Super
That
crazy.
guy lived a crazy life. Crazy
man.
life.
For a fact.
That's the life I want to live, but legally, that's the goal. But
I mean, look, if you tell me I'll make a couple $100 million, all I had to do is sell some cocaine, send the cocaine, man.
yeah,
I'm joking. Dario, don't call the cops.
On that
You're
note,
Italian.
he's
I'm
already
pretty
got
sure.
the cops
I'm
on
pretty
us.
sure your dad's a fucking cop. What are the odds that I also nail with that?
is your dad a cop?
take a guess.
No way, he's a cop.
Take a guess.
Bro,
take a
he's
guess.
Italian, bro.
Bro,
He is, right?
my dad's a cop.
Aaron, when are you going to learn that I don't miss? I don't
Same.
know. Honestly, like, I never miss. Like, I very rarely miss. I just, like, I'm so good at putting to it. You give me, like, a little bit of information, and I can just do it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, like, the way you guys are, like, all dressed right now and the way you guys carry yourself, it comes from a very, very, like, it comes from a family that, like, either your dad is, like, a military or
He's
does.
ex-military.
It does.
Yeah,
you can tell.
see? I can tell from you guys the way you guys are. You guys are like very like respectful, very very like,
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yes,
that,
sir.
bro.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's a compliment, and at the same time it's like it's not, because like I think like for example you haven't talked much. I don't know that much about you yet, but like for you, like you're very very observant, and very self-aware, not only of yourself but those around you, and that is such a fucking great skill to have. So it's like, now how do you harness that? By speaking your mind more.
Yeah.
But with a kind of like family, like, you know, military and stuff like that, you kind of learn to just be quiet and not, you know, one, not speak back, and like, you know, two, like let others finish. But sometimes you have to be like, put your foot down. And with those characteristics that I mentioned that you have, that I'm extremely impressed, and those characteristics would take you to like a level above and beyond, because essentially you can see what most can't, right? While everybody else is in class just like doing what they have to do so they can leave, you're observing that your teacher's learning what what they're just teaching.
That was funny, bro. That's gonna be a clip. That's gonna be a clip.
Yeah, God bless you, bro, for real.
I appreciate that. On that note, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we can run it back soon. And don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe for more content, and I will see you. Peace.